welcome back to Made by Amanda Mal. I'm Amanda and I make stuff. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a crochet artist. I mostly make amigurumi plushie type items that I sell at market events and online. And you guys, today we are at a market. This is actually a night market, a little holiday event that I picked up. I was scrolling through my videos and I don't think I have ever filmed a night event. I don't really do a lot of night events, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it is a little chilly if you can't already tell. I'll show you guys my setup now. It's not really super dark yet, but then I can show you again later when it gets really dark. Okay guys, here is the setup while it's still a little light out. We got our eagles, our penguins, some axolotls, our dogs, kitties, cows, the usual. And then over here we have the holiday section. We have our little seals. All of these patterns will be linked in the description below if you want to check them out. This is a new make that I just made for the first time. Look at this little freaking nutcracker. It's literally the cutest thing I've ever seen. And this was a very fun make. I wish I had more time to make more of those. Okay, stay, sir. All right, we got our Christmas tree. Look at these little fluffy mice I made. I am obsessed with those. We have reindeer, some gingerbreads, some snowmen. I just sold a gingerbread and a snowman. I made this bear for the first time, a little Christmas bear. I think he's cute. A cute crochet pattern, the usual again. We got our big turtles, my little gorilla guy in there. We have a Grinch. We have a Christmas tree, a little pigeon over here, and I did put out Jason. He's just threatening people to make their payments. You love to see it. Okay, and then we have our little turtles over here. Frogs, mushrooms, triceratops, keychains, and some nuggets. And that is the overall vibe. I will show you again when it's fully dark so you can see the lighting. This event is from 4 to 8, so we only have a couple hours that we have to sit outside in the tundra. Hopefully we make a lot of sales during that time. This is really the perfect holiday selling time. I already had a couple sales, which I feel like is already busier than my last event. I sold a spider, a gingerbread, a snowman, a keychain already, and the event's only been going on for a couple minutes so far, so very excited about that. Hopefully that is promising for the rest of the night. Not a ton of vendors here. Oh, sorry guys, I just had to stop my video because I sold a Christmas tree. The Crochet Calls Christmas tree, I think, was that pattern. Again, all linked in the description below. Feeling like it's gonna be a good one tonight, folks, but also, let's not get too excited. There are, did I already say there's not a ton of vendors, but there are food trucks here. There is a crepe truck right across from me, and it's like a weird time of the day. It is 4:30, and I don't really want dinner yet, but I'm dying for like a sweet little dessert crepe. But then it's gonna like ruin my dinner appetite, you know? Hello, how are you guys? Oh my gosh, guys, I just sold my Grinch already. I already sold my Grinch. I'm freaking out. Okay, guys, let me give you some of my tips for surviving out in the cold at an event. And then I might go get my crepe. My first tip is to utilize your sidewalls. If you've seen my other vlogs, I rarely use sidewalls unless the weather is like really bad. But they do a lot to keep out wind if it is windy, and it kind of allows you to build your own little cocoon of warmth rather than just being exposed to all of the elements and having all of the cold air come in here. Unfortunately, I do only have 2 sidewalls, not 3. I don't know why I only have 2. So it is defeating the purpose a little bit, but I mean, not having the air coming up from behind me on my back is definitely nice. My next tip is to make sure you're wearing a ton of layers. It's better to be way over prepared than under prepared. You could always shed the layers, but if you don't have enough layers on, that's a problem. I have a long sleeve shirt on, a sweatshirt on, my big jacket. I have this scarf to keep my little neck warm. And of course we have our Made by Amanda Mal beanie on today. This is my favorite beanie to wear to events. And if you are wondering how you can make something like this for yourself or as has your own crochet merch that you could sell online on your Etsy. You can check out a print-on-demand service like Printful. If you're not familiar with Printful, you can literally go on the site, upload your own designs. I personally like to design mine in Canva, but there are also options to design right on Printful. You could order things for yourself right from Printful, or you can connect your Etsy account and publish those items right to your Etsy. And when someone orders that item, Printful does all the work for you. They make it, they ship it. You don't have to do anything. This is a prime time to be using Printful and to be using on demand to make some holiday items for your Etsy. Everyone is online shopping for holiday items. They have amazing production quality and very competitive pricing so that you're keeping as much profit as possible. And my favorite thing about it is it's literally free to use. Some of the largest brands in the world use Printful, so you should too, to help make your business even bigger or to help kickstart a business. I will leave a Printful link in the description below if you'd like to check it out. Okay, so definitely make sure you're bundling up, and another one of my favorite tips are these babies. These little hand warmer things. I think that they have feet warmers too, but I only have these ones, and coincidentally they are in my shoes right now on my feet. Because at these events, for some reason, my feet are the only things that get like super cold. Like I already can't feel my toes, but nothing else is cold on me, just my toes. I literally get these at the dollar store for $1, and it comes with like 2 of them. And you just shake them up, and you could put them in your pocket or in your gloves or in your socks. Mine are in my socks right now. And they are saving the day. All right, guys. We're going to take a picture of the crepe menu so I can pick out what I want. Guys, a small child just knocked over my entire keychain display, so I deserve a crepe. All right, let's see our options. Cookies and cream, Nutella, strawberry. I'm a sucker for some Nutella strawberry. Berries cheesecake. Oh my gosh, wait, I want all of them. Okay, guys, I can't feel my hands, but the crepe has been acquired. I decided on the berries and cheesecake one. I'm not sure how to eat it. Do I just like pick it up and eat it? Right. I guess that's the move. The crepe was definitely worth it, and it's a tax write-off, so it's fine. Make sure you guys get my tax template if you haven't already. I made like a nice finance tracking tax template so you can track all of your income, your expenses, all those write-offs for tax season, baby. Tax season is coming up, and trust me, you want to be prepared, and I have a digital template for you that makes it super easy. I will link it in the description below so you can write off all your scrumptious meals at your events.
I'll do that and then this tiny little pickle.
Sounds good.
So I have
It's gonna be 37 even. Do you tap?
Oh yes, is that okay? Yeah. Each bag. Can I just have one bag? I'll put the little bag in my pocket.
Good. Do you need a receipt?
No, it's okay.
All good. Thank you. Enjoy. Forget about life of a showgirl. This is the life of a businesswoman, people. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the lighting now that it's like darker outside. I am getting a lot of help from these food trucks that are very well lit over here. But the lighting over here, I have these lights that I am obsessed with. I got them on Amazon. I will link them below. They are rechargeable, and they have like different kind of, different like shades of light. Is it working? Oh, there. I like this one. I feel like it's the brightest. And then I have these little battery operated fairy lights. I'm pretty sure I just got those at like Five Below. I might get some more of the fairy lights, honestly. Well, I don't do a ton of night events. I have another strand of them in the back, but I wish I had more to put like in the boxes and stuff. And then I have another light over here. And those are pretty bright, those rechargeable lights. I love them. And I feel like it keeps things pretty well lit. And here's the vibe. Nice. Guys, it's like 7 o'clock and I think things are actually going really well. I've actually been selling a lot of stuff. I just sold out of cows. I sold the Grinch. That was one of my first sales. I don't think I told you that, but it was one of my first sales. I sold out of eagles. I sold both of those little seals I have. I honestly haven't looked at the front of the table because I don't want to get up from my worn chair. I am feeling like I am getting a little nervous because I feel like being here in the freezing cold is kind of like a recipe for illness right now. I am sitting here in the cold, lots of coughing, very boogery children. And I have an audition coming up this week, so I can't be sick. If you guys aren't familiar, I do local theater and I have auditions for a new show coming up, and I want to give you a clue and I want you guys to guess in the comments what you think the show is going to be that I'm auditioning for. I was trying to think of a clue that isn't completely obvious, and it was kind of hard because I feel like most of them were pretty obvious, but here is the clue. The jungle. Okay, that's the clue, you guys. Comment below what you think the show is going to be, and I'll let you know in my next video who, if anybody, was right. Guys, tonight is one of those nights I'm just pulling things out of the bag, and I am selling everything, and I love it. These girls were looking for a gift for a friend who's like having a brain surgery. So sad. And I haven't been putting that big bee that I have that I haven't sold in forever. I haven't been putting that out. And I put it out and I was like, I have this, and she was like, yeah, I want that. And I sold that to her. What one of their other friends bought my zombie that I've had like since Halloween time. I sold Jason Voorhees for all $40 worth to this really cute vendor family. I absolutely love them. Guys, it's a little after 7:30. I'm gonna try getting my stuff together to break down. I just wanted to say bye before I do that and before my phone dies, and I'll be back in a couple seconds for a market breakdown. Hello guys, we are back for the market breakdown. I'm gonna let you guys know everything that sold, how much I made, and what we thought about the event overall. So let's get into it. I'm not going to go through each individual transaction. I'm just going to let you know how many sold out of how many I brought to the event. Starting with our axolotls, I brought 8 axolotls because usually they're a really good seller for me. And when I looked at my sales, I could not believe I only sold 2. I sold the 2 pink axolotls that I had. Maybe I should stop making them in other colors and just sell the pink ones, because usually the pink ones are my best sellers. Didn't sell any purple or any teal colored ones. Next, I sold my big bee, which was a crazy sale. I didn't even have that one on the table initially. I haven't been putting it out because it just never sells and I didn't have room for it. And I think I mentioned in a video that I sold it to this little girl whose friend was getting surgery and she wanted something happy for her. It was originally priced at like, I don't even know what it was priced at originally, like $26. I sold it to her for $20 because this is the end of my season and I'm just trying to get rid of everything. Plus she was cute and she had already bought something else from my table. So next were my cats. I brought 5 cats to this event and I sold 2 of them. I sold 1 white one and 1 gray kitty. Next were my chicken nuggets. I sold 4 out of 6 chicken nuggets that I had brought with me. I don't remember which faces they were specifically. Next, I sold 1 Christmas tree that Crochet calls Christmas tree for $26. Next, I sold 3 out of 4 little chubby frogs that I had with me. Next, I sold all 3 of the 3 cows that I brought with me. I sold 1 out of 4 dogs that I brought with me. I sold the mustardy colored one. I sold 3 out of the 3 eagles that I brought with me. Sold out of those. I sold 4 out of 4 little gingerbread men that I brought with me. They went pretty quick. We sold out of those. I sold my Grinch pretty early on for $35. I sold Jason Voorhees for $40. I finally sold some keychains at this event. I sold 2 yellow ducky ones, 2 white ducky ones, a ghost keychain, 4 octo keychains, and a strawberry keychain. I think I had 15 keychains with me and I sold 8. So pretty good. I haven't been selling a lot of keychains lately, so that was nice. I sold a margarita. I don't think I showed you this on the table initially because I didn't put it out, I've had this like one margarita forever that I haven't sold, and it like doesn't stand up well, so I never know where to put it, and I just didn't put it out. But as the night went on, I was like, oh, I just put everything out, and I put it on the table, like immediately sold for $13. I sold 1 out of 4 mushrooms that I brought. I sold 2 out of 4 penguins that I had. I sold my little polar bear that I made. I sold my AQ Crochet reindeer. The polar bear was the AQ Crochet polar bear as well. Hello, honey. I sold 1 out of 2 seals that I brought with me. I sold 4 out of the 5 snowmen that I had. My first sale of the day was the one singular spider that I had with me. I sold 2 out of 5 triceratops that I brought. I sold 3 turtles, I think, 3 of my smaller turtles. I want to say I sold the teal one, the pink one, and the green one. If those are the colors that I had initially, I lost track of things in Square. It was crazy. I sold a jumbo turtle too for $35. It was that like blue, multicolored blue jumbo turtle that I had. And I sold my zombie that I had left over from Halloween for $30. My vendor fee for this event was $60. My Square fees and discounts were $14.20. A lot of people using card for this event. So my revenue without the loss was $891, but with all of my fees deducted, my total take-home profit was $682.74. I sold 56 items, you guys, and overall, I mean, this was a great event for me. I will say it was freezing. It was very cold. I didn't love that I couldn't sit there and crochet because my hands were so cold that I literally was just like waiting for it to be over, like sitting there waiting for it to be over. But luckily it was only a 4-hour event, so it wasn't too bad, honestly. And I am pretty sure this is the first year they did this. I don't know. I haven't heard of this one before. So I was definitely a little nervous with it being like a night event out in the cold. I didn't know if anyone would stop by, but I guess they did really well with the marketing for this. I think the food trucks, and I think there was like Santa pics somewhere. I think Santa was there. They definitely brought in a lot of families to the event. So I think that was part of why I was so successful. And obviously it's the Christmas time, and I feel like parents around the Christmas time are just willing to buy their kids like whatever they want. I think I also did well because there weren't a ton of vendors there. There was no other crocheters, but there was another vendor there selling like kids toys. So I guess that was kind of like a competitive vendor for me, but I was overall very happy with how I made out. And I forget if I said it, but this was like a last minute event that I picked up because I just wasn't doing well this season. I do have another event this season coming up this upcoming weekend, so definitely have a lot of prep to do this week. I'm not sure how much we will get done. I don't know if I want to make like Christmas stuff because this will be like my last winter event, so maybe just gonna try to get ahead with other inventory, not so much Christmas stuff. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss that one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video if you did. Thank you for hanging out with me in the freezing cold, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!